Get your Here for Hot Tea merch today. Right now, we currently have our Buy Ho 90s mugs in stock. We also have our classic Buy Ho mugs in stock as well. You can use code HeyHo for 15% off of your first order, or right now you can receive 20% off of any of the Buy Ho and Here for Hot Tea t-shirts and shorts. When we first launched, you could only get the t-shirts and shorts in black, white, or blue, and we now have made the pink and orange no longer exclusive to members only. However, hi everyone. Hi hotties, kettles, tea stirs. You're here for hot tea. All commentary is alleged, and in my opinion, this is for entertainment purposes only. So I wanted to do this live because, first of all, I didn't realize Marsau did an interview with Dustin Ross, and he basically was trying to hold walkie-talkie Mills baby mama accountable. And it was just a few things in his interview that I thought was interesting that I know that I want to, talk about over here on my channel. So let's get into it. I don't want this to be a long video or a long intro or anything like that. But hey, everybody, the first thumbs up. Oh, hi, Design and Decor. Hi, Pisces Live. Hi, RDM. And hi, Lisa Campbell. Thank y'all for being here first and being in the chat. Okay, so hold on. Let me share my screen, because we have to talk about this. First of all, nobody told me Marceau did this interview with Dustin Ross. And my initial thoughts about Marceau. I think Marceau is funny. I'm not going to lie. I do think Marceau is funny, but I don't like the way he treats his wife. I think he's very misogynistic. And I think that I already told you guys most of my thoughts about Marceau in my latest video, so y'all should check it out if you haven't checked it out already. But most of my disdain with Marceau comes from the fact that he still aligns himself with Martel while calling himself having an issue with the things that he think Melody has done, when in actuality Martel have been calling these people out as far as saying he slept with 20 women. Martel has been creating conflict and confusion, but for whatever reason they always have all of this vitriol toward Melody. And so yeah, that's where a majority of my disdain comes from when it comes to Marceau. But let's break the video down.
All right. Now that we got the pre-production out the way, what's happening, Marcel Scott? Welcome to our Love and Marriage Huntsville conversation. How you doing tonight, bro?
What up, though? How you?
What up, though, is right. I'm chilling, and I'm glad you opened that way because I'm a Michigander too.
My dad was Captain David Wilson in the U.S. Navy. He was a really amazing person.
Oh, word. I know that. Where you from?
I grew up in Flint, born and raised, and I lived in downtown Detroit. That's right.
Bree.
MC Bree, ain't no future in your front and all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Your city, now you know.
Now you know. Okay, you about to have me start rapping, and I don't know if we got to pay for that or not, but that's my song.
Ain't nobody checking us like that. No, we up there, but we ain't that big time yet.
Well, y'all about to be, man, because this many seasons in, and with these dynamic stories of these incredibly successful, smart Black families with these really, really layered and textured stories. I think it's great what you guys have brought to television. So first of all, thank you for all you guys have brought to this landscape of reality TV. I think it's been a great thing to see these Black families successful, thriving in business and figuring out, the ups and downs of relationships along the way. It takes a lot of bravery, especially for people from where we're from, because typically we're not open about personal matters. We kind of keep our business. And so I know it steps out a little bit more for you. So how do you feel about things like when we watched on this week's episode and Martell Holt said that, you know, he watches you going back and forth online with people, and he used the term like a female, right? And we see people kind of try to attach that title to you and your willful participation in the mechanics of the show. How does that make you?
The first thing I want to say on this topic, I don't like when people call women females, because women and girls are not females. And in my opinion, it immediately dehumanizes you, because anything and anybody could be a human. I mean, not a human, but a female. Like my cat is a female. Like, you know, a dog could be a female. A lion can be a female. A whale could be a female. But we're speaking about women. And I always want to throw up in my mouth, especially when I hear Black men speak of women and call them females. And it automatically, in my opinion, lets me know exactly what type of men that they are and how they view women, because women are women. Like, and you, I don't know. That's just, even though, you know, subconsciously they may, even though consciously they may not feel like they are doing it, subconsciously they are putting women, they are decategorizing women. That's what I'm saying. It just speaks to their subconscious. And
ask you a question.
Oh yes.
So do you think that men that address women or refer to women as females see them as second-class citizens?
In a sense, because they're women. Like, what are you talking about, females?
I agree. And also, I think I see a difference in the men that refer to women as women,
right,
versus the way men who refer to women as females. There's a very stark difference in the way they handle situations with women, and how and how they poise themselves in stories when they talk about women, as far as like who's the victim and who's the villain. You understand?
I agree. And I also realize, you know, I would say a lot of gay men, and I'm going to say a lot of men in general, with that very, I don't know how to explain it, but I would say when I hear gay men say female, it automatically makes me feel like there's some type of disdain that they have, because like how they be like, see, females be doing too much. To me, that lets me know there's already some type of disdain. I don't know. It's a lot of depth there, whether people know it or not, whether people understand why they say it or why they do it. It still exists. But that's just my opinion. Hi Cece. Somebody says, me waiting on the Scots to have a dynamic story. I agree. But yeah, the word female is, I don't know about that. And then why does Marsau drink in every interview that he has? I don't know if y'all noticed that, but he does say he don't do many interviews, and I agree. He doesn't do many interviews, but every interview he does do, he's drinking. So I don't know.
He do look like he's trying to hold it together. He look real drunk.
You feel, especially coming from Martel?
I think that anyone trying to paint Marcel Scott as a bitch, I think it's a tough sell.
Yeah.
All right. I think it's a tough sell. I think me saying that female characteristics, I think that's a tough sell. That's not something I'm about to defend. You know, women are great.
Yes, they are.
And they're strong. Black females, my wife, a beautiful wife.
Strong Black females. I don't know. That stands out to me. Strong Black women. You know, there's a difference in that. But so I don't know. His tone is already very much, you know, present. And I understand what he means when he says, you know, nobody could, you know, say, you know, I have female tendencies or, you know, bitch tendencies. And I think that Marsau is a masculine man, and he is very misogynistic as well. And so when people say, like, you know, you acting like a bitch, or, you know, you acting like a hoe, or you acting like a female, or whatever the case may be, they're seeing how, I don't know, because he likes to go back and forth with women.
He does. I think.
And I'm sorry, sweetie, before you say that, and I would just say, a man like Damon, Heavenly Husband, he does not, you know what I'm saying, or like you, like, y'all don't, you're not gonna have a back and forthing with another woman, or in general, you're not gonna see Heavenly's husband have a back and forth, you know, whatever with a woman. And again, when Damon speaks about women, he addresses them as women as well. I've never heard Damon say females when speaking about women. So I do think you're right as far as the correlation between men that call women women in addressing situations, and men that call women females in addressing situations, and how those two men differ in handling conflict.
Definitely, because if you look at Marsau's track record, even at that event in Houston, he was like shouting with Melody and with the women there, like he was having a real, like literally, like whole verbal arguments with these women.
Which is what I would say people
Connotates
mean when they say hoe or bitch tendencies.
Yeah, those are the
female
tendencies. That's because where I was raised, you're not supposed to sit there and have a whole argument with the woman. She could say what she gotta say, and then you let it be known how you feel, and then that just be that. But as far as like a debate going back and forth, Marceau plays into that a lot, and I think that's where the connection between him having whole type ways is where that's rooted, or is that stemmed in.
Right. Because I genuinely think having healthy debates, are, good, and that doesn't necessarily make him that way. But that's
his
not
arguments be shouting matches. Like it'd be like veins popping out his head while he's having.
No, I think that's Martell. We're talking about Marceau. Marceau, I don't think he has shouting match disagreements or anything like that.
He didn't have one in Houston. I thought he got into a disagreement with the woman in Houston.
Marceau, in my opinion, he likes the back and forth.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
He's amused by it.
That's what it was. He wasn't shouting at no woman, but he wasn't doing any. He wasn't stepping up as a man to intervene and de-escalate.
He doesn't do any de-escalating.
So it's that he's messy.
Right, he's messy, yeah. And people think that is a woman characteristic or a woman trait. Even though, in my opinion, I think men are far more messier than women, as we could see with the Love and Marriage Huntsville cast.
Yeah, the dudes are leading in messiness. They be having more in between conversations about their women than the women do. Actually, it's crazy.
Intelligent, most educated demographic. So, I don't know if being, saying that you're a female is supposed to be a dig.
I don't know. And one more thing I want to say to that. It seems like it's hard for him to say, women or Black women Black women are one of the most educated, smart, demographics ever. You know what I'm saying? But it's the female part. There's an undertone there that still puts the woman under him. Even though in this interview, y'all are going to hear him say, when having a back and forth, people only feel some type of way, or they say that, or they throw in him acting like a female because, he said it like, what's the problem? Like, we're equal, aren't we? And it's like, you don't view women as being your equal based on how you act. So why is it now that you want to view a woman as your equal when it's time to have a back and forthing with her? So that's something that I caught with him as well, because the way that he treat his wife and the things that he consistently say as far as, women being in the industry, in the field that he's in, he's very misogynistic and he's very egotistical. But it's funny how he likes to use the men and women are equal thing when it's to benefit him, or when he wants to have a petty argument with another woman. So it say Marceau is whack, right? He gaslights women. I agree, he does. Marceau tries too hard to put forth an image of strong, smart man when he is weak, not very smart. I agree, he is weak. Only a woman like Tisha would think Marceau is a catch. I agree. Hi, trending. Okay, let me keep going.
Yeah.
But I think that people want to paint a narrative when they can't control it. So they want to try to change the narrative a little bit. They want to say, oh, well, he's doing this right here. When someone's out thinking you, they want to say, oh, well, why are you going back and forth with me? Like, are you not equal?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you stating your opinion, me stating my opinion? I mean, and for all intents and purposes, I'm on a reality television show. That's
Right.
women's business. All right.
Right.
That's women's business all day, every day. So
Right. Family, right, has been a central, kind of focus when it comes to this show. It's about 3 married couples.
And I also think it's funny how he said he's on a reality TV show and that's women's business, but he also tried to embarrass Courtney for being a part of a hair care company. And remember, and he was like, I think it's funny how you're trying to say that I'm always in women's business when you're a part of a hair care company. He's very he's a walking contradiction. My bad, I muted my mic too early.
Couples originally, and then we got to know the extended family members of you guys as a whole, and they were a part of the story as well. Let's talk about Kiki, Marsau. We know last season and the season previously we were introduced to Kiki, who is the first cousin of your wife Letitia, and she didn't necessarily come in as an ally to her cousin.
right.
We were introduced to her with a little bit of adversarial energy, and then we saw things even get to a point where a drink was tossed and some really, really blatant accusations were made and tossed and hurled at that table.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you and Kiki in relationship today? What does that look like? Are you all in communication at all?
Well, here's the thing, and we actually had a recent text thread going back and forth a little bit a couple days ago.
Okay.
I put up a post, I think about Diddy, and I think that she thought it was a subliminal to her, and I couldn't.
No.
It couldn't have been further, but it was pretty much what I said was take a lesson from him that when somebody has an apology after they've been caught, it ain't worth a damn. I was talking strictly about him, but that shoe fits on her, and her apologies ain't worth a damn.
Okay.
Right? Because here's the thing. Here's the thing, and here's why. Here's why it's a sore spot for me, right? Because it was unwarranted, it was unprovoked, and that was a relationship that truly hurt me, right? Because contrary to what anybody's willing to believe about any part of the situation, my story never changes. In this endeavor, see, that's not my cousin. That's Tisha's cousin. People don't walk up to her and at that time didn't think Marsau, right?
My to-do list used to look like this. A jumbled mess, projects back to back, and I would waste so much time.
So when she's going through an episode, we're calling it an episode,
okay,
right? They have to go through all of her family, all of her local family, meaning that she's out there somewhere bad. People have to call her local family. They have to call her friends. They have to call known associates. They're calling all these people. Then I finally get a call at work, right? Saying, hey, this is the situation. She needs somebody to come get her. I leave, and I'm at that point, I'm the only person. All right. And maybe I'm the last person they call, maybe I'm the first person. But in my opinion, you don't link us right together.
Yeah.
So I'm the only person that goes out there and I pick you up. And I'm not saying this to brag on. This is not my brag, because I didn't come out with this. I wasn't saying, I did this, I did this. That's not my purpose. Right. But for that to be there, for me to do that, for me to get on the phone and for say, hey, call your family and watch your mom just cuss you out up and down the street, talk to you like trash.
Wow.
I hung up the phone on her mom. I'm like, no, you don't got to live like this. Her husband, everybody talking to her like a piece of trash. And I know that moment is where God sent. And so in my mind, I feel fulfilled saying that, hey, I serve God's purpose in my life in this period of time. And when no one else showed you love, you got love. And you didn't get love, and you didn't get no one telling you about this right here. When we told the hosts about what was going on.
So I'm assuming what Marsau is trying to say. He came to need for Kiki with something that was going on, and Kiki mama was talking to her like trash. Kiki husband was talking to her like trash. All these people was talking to her like trash. Marceau hung up the phone on her mom, and he basically told her she don't deserve that or something like that. And he felt like he was doing his part by being there for her in some way, shape, or form. Now he's about to speak about why he told the Holtz at the time her business. And I think what's interesting to note about this is the issue is when all of that went down, they tried to make it seem like they didn't, in fact, say or speak about her in that manner. Now, he's going to break down why he said what he said about Kiki to the Holtz. And ultimately, I think I kind of understand what he's saying and agree and disagree at the same time, because as somebody that don't like people in their home, I don't like, people that I don't know around me. So if I am, around someone and they have this stuff going on, I would want to know. But I think the point is the Holtz were your friends. Kiki was your family. Okay? That was the difference. Kiki issue with you was the fact that you showed a sign of disloyalty to her by going to the host to speak about her or quote unquote warn them about what she may or may not be into, when she's saying she would never, do anything like that to the host. Now, if she asks people for money or call people and ask them to help her or need a ride or etc., that's one thing. But you guys were basically insinuating that she would take something from them, or because she was going through her addiction, she could possibly, be of a liability to them. And so, in a way in which they wouldn't want her in their home. And I think at the end of the day, the point was when it all happened, you guys were her family and you tried to tell the Holtz something that would leave a bad taste about her in their mouths about your family. Period. So and so as he sit here and he has this conversation with Dustin, this was prior to Kiki's passing away. And I think it's very unfortunate that they are gun ho, or at the time they were stuck on holding on to um this beef and this issue with Kiki, all because they didn't want to clearly be honest and see her point, which was very valid. They were trying to say that Kiki went up against the family by being a friend to the show of Mel, or being a friend of Mel to the show, when you guys were the one that set the tone for the for the disloyalty. So if you're going to call me out about being disloyal, I'm going to call you out for setting the tone. And I don't understand why they couldn't just acknowledge that they set the tone for the disloyalty amongst their family. Because at the end of the day, if she never did anything to the Holtz, there was no reason for y'all to go to the Holtz and to reveal that information about your family. So again, now that Kiki has passed away, when you really think about it, all of this simply was stupid and really just required an apology. Y'all should have apologized to Kiki for even going to the Holtz to say that, because it was unwarranted. And the fact that y'all doubled down and insisted on Kiki being a bad person for feeling some type of way, that y'all were trying to call her out for being a bad friend because she came on the show as male friend and went to her what was it, the Valentine, went to her little sleepover or whatever. And it's like y'all are and then at the time Kiki didn't even really say anything disparaging about y'all. So it's like, if y'all could go to the Holtz home and tell them about her using using and being addicted and this, that, and the third, why can't she say on that episode the little bit that she did say, which was not really anything? And it was crazy. It's just crazy how all of this pans out. But let me keep going.
Going on is because it was irresponsible as fuck for us not to.
Okay.
All right. Don't bring nothing like that around my house. All right. Don't bring nothing like that around my house. You give me a straight up, hey man,
this is what it is.
What you want to do, boss.
Yeah.
This ain't what you want to do. All right. She's not in space right now.
And I think that this is also what the problem is. If Marsau and Letitia introduced Kiki to the hosts, then I could understand what his point would be. But Kiki and Mel knew each other before she knew Letitia. So him even trying to make this point by saying, oh, well, you know, don't bring this around my house. If Mel and the hosts brought Kiki around them and brought them toward in their home, they knew Kiki before she knew you. So at the end of the day, your loyalty should have been to your family. And for whatever reason, you had loyalty to the hosts over your family, probably because y'all are opportunists. And at the time, the hosts could have provided y'all with more of an opportunity. And also, Kiki wanted to be on the show, and y'all didn't want that to happen.
And it was appreciated, blah, blah, blah. It was weaponized years later to get back at us. But Kiki knows that it was a solid moment because that's outside of our character, right? Because let me ask you a question. This right here, this episode, this interview, this is the first interview I've ever done that's outside of like own sanctioned or own.
Yeah.
I've talked to not a single blogger. I've never did a Marsau tell-all.
Yeah.
Right. And so my point is for you to take that moment and then against your cousin, the one that was there for you, against me, Kimmy, everybody saying, hey, enough is enough, enough is enough, enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? We've been going through this for years. And so you take that moment and then you decide that the only path for you to be relevant is, you know, against your cousin.
Yeah.
You're going to get there, even if you got to climb up and tear your cousin down and tear the only people that love you down, right? But here's the thing. Here's the thing I knew from the very beginning.
No living being should ever eat processed food for every single meal of their life.
I knew from the very beginning that shit ain't gonna last long.
Yeah, you mean Kiki's involvement with the Love and Marriage Huntsville show?
Because she served the purpose.
Yeah.
She served the purpose. And across the board, even when they got the clips and the edited clips and were made it seem like she had something on me. Listen, if that girl had something on me, she should have been told. Yeah. There's no question about it, right? And would do right now in order to stay relevant.
Yeah.
But my point is that what hurt me the most is that what she was willing to do in order for a couple seconds of fame, not even a check. Not even a check. She told me she'd get a check. I said, nah, baby girl, that's compensation. That's not a check.
So my thing is, what were they willing to do to stay in the good graces of the hosts? You get what I'm saying? Because you were willing to tell her business to them. She was your family. So I don't know, y'all.
Don't be confused. You know what I'm saying? And so for me to see that right there, that hurt me. That really hurt me because sometimes when you extend yourself out to people, and you want nothing in return but to see them succeed and for them to turn around and unnecessarily stab you in the back, you know, that's kind of messed up.
And I also noticed with the Scots, they do things to people, but they don't like when people do the same things back to them. They literally stab their cousin in the back, basically. I don't understand why they expect people to be loyal to them when they are not loyal to those people.
And so so I don't got no feelings about where she at right now. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Good luck. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, real talk. I'm not that kind of dude that be like, I wish you success.
Yeah.
After you hurt me, I don't really wish you success.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's understandable. You know, if someone made some very serious, very specific, and very blatant allegations and hurtful allegations, you know, that were
Ain't hurt
untrue.
me.
You know,
Ain't hurt me.
I can understand your disposition. Has Kiki offered any sort of apology to you and your family, or
No.
nothing?
She's still fighting.
Okay.
She's still fighting. And I'm still being petty as hell, teasing her every now and again about not being where she wants to be. So every now and then I get a little
You get a little 1-2.
How'd
Okay.
that work out for you, sis? Yeah.
And see, this is where people start to connotate you with having women type ways. You want to poke at somebody. Okay, it's one thing to not wish somebody success because you guys have had a disagreement, but to take it as far as wanting to like mess with somebody or try to joke with them about where they are in life as if you are any sort of hierarchy
And that's your
person,
family.
and that's your family.
It
That says a lot
shows.
about your character as a man. It shows that you're not as brave and you're not as smart as you think you are, because a truly honorable, brave, and smart man understands that the tables always turn. So it's never good to poke at anybody that you may view from your perspective as being at a lower stature than you, because you never know. But anyway, carrying on with the video.
Yes, baby, that was good. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Didn't work out, did it?
Oh man. Well, we wish, you know, it's a family at the end of the day, and that's a very personal matter. So we wish you guys peace and healing, whatever that looks like for you when it comes to that whole situation.
Not me.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of the stick, you got Dustin over here handling himself very much so as a man should, not indulging. Like you can see Marsau had a whole smile on his face. He's been mean mugging the entire video. When he gets to speak on an opportunity to be messy, you see the most excitement out of him. But Dustin chose to steer clear of that conversation and just wish peace and healing onto their family, because he understands this is a personal family matter. I'm not going to throw myself into this shit because I don't even understand what the...
Well, Dustin is just an interviewer.
He is, but you know...
He's a great interviewer.
And that's why he's a great interviewer, because he keeps it... I know he has a list of questions that he had to ask prior to entering this interview. But carry on.
I mean, don't want that no more.
Okay, so let's get off of the family stuff and let's get into the show a little bit, Marsau. Let's talk about Sonny and Moses.
Sonny and Moses.
Okay?
Tell me about it. What's that?
How do you feel? Do you feel like their relationship materializing? Do you feel like that was a ethical violation? Do you feel like she broke kind of like, you know, the code, or what do you think about the origins of their relationship?
Yeah. Look, the problem with my opinion of their relationship is the ends, to me, have to justify the means.
Okay.
Meaning is that at the end of the day, that's his wife.
Yeah.
Now, if Moses was just, you know, if this is just something he's trying to do on the side, trying to creep, trying to smash, trying to date, then that's when it comes, you know, wrong. But you got to put wife in a different category. And the wife part has to say, I did this and I succeeded in this. You know what I'm saying? I did this for the win. I did this for love for life. And at the end of the day, if, you know, I got to quote Funky Dineva on that. He said, man, if I had to sacrifice destiny to get to, you know what I'm saying, then I got to do it.
So is that what you feel like he did? Is that what you feel like him and Sonny did? When you say, like, if I did this, then it has to be worth it in the end based on what it looks like. So do you feel like there was a choice made there, right?
Yeah,
like,
I think it was a choice made to go ahead and do that. And I'm not saying that, you know, at the end of the day, that's your wife. You know what I'm saying? I think Sonny had to look it square on and said, listen, I'm not about to let Ruth get in the way of my Boaz.
Hey, now you didn't took it to the 66 books of the Bible, okay?
My girl said, I ain't gonna let Ruth get in the way of my Boaz.
They love that Boaz story, don't they, Marsau? Oh
That
man,
boy said, "You're gonna get your Boaz, even if he already got a roof."
that's right. And she got him too. She got her Boaz.
And but and Sonny's my homegirl, Mo's my homeboy. At the end of the day, I told him, this is what you sign up for something that you see. No one on the show has had rocks thrown at their marriage like Letitia and I.
Yeah.
No one. Martell and Mel, people wanted them to succeed. Reese and Kimmy, favorites on the show. Everyone else, they love them. Stormy and Courtney, everybody else, they love them. Me and Tisha, it was constant. Why are you with him? What's going on? This right here. And it's taking thousands of little small pebbles throwing at your stuff, right? Sonny and Moses are signing up for the exact same thing that we're signing up for. But the challenge is they don't have a 15-year base.
Yeah.
They don't have a 12-year base that we had when we got on TV. You know what I'm saying? This is out the gates year one. So it's an uphill battle. I mean, I let them know, hey, listen, man, hit me up if you ever need to have a talk. But you fighting against comics that ain't gonna happen. I think they're doing better now than they were in the beginning.
Well, that's good to hear, because like you said, they are husband and wife at this point. And so it legitimizes their relationship in that way. And it makes it something. Yeah, that was my next question for you, because I know that Destiny and Letitia are very close. And I wondered if your friendship with her maybe kind of influenced the way that you see the Sonny and Moses relationship.
I'm an unbiased person. I look at things square on. But love is a challenge, because love, I guess the proof of love is what you sacrifice and what you're willing to do. And I think that to a certain extent, Sonny and Moses have sacrificed their pride. They have sacrificed their reputation, their name, and they've sacrificed a lot, maybe unknowingly, but it's certainly on the chopping block just for love. And so I think the world is pushing them to a point where that's the only thing they have is each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think everybody gonna mess around and make them stronger.
Yeah. We're gonna see, I guess.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's interesting. Relationships on this show and just kind of some of the choices and decision making that we see, it sparks a lot of.
Okay, so he gave his thoughts and opinions on Sonny and Moses, and I don't really have much to say about his opinions of Sonny and Moses. And he's about to get into the Martel situation. But what I will say about the Sonny and Moses situation is, I mean, Sonny doesn't have a prize, and Dusty Dan should just move on. But Dusty Dan is thirsty as hell. And if y'all seen the trailer that they just dropped of Moses saying, Dusty Dan still loves, she still love me, and then Martel making a joke about a side chick, I kind of look at that as, and then him saying, who gonna be the side chick, and then saying Dusty Dan. I kind of look at that as confirmation, as he didn't want to marry you, Dusty Dan, because he looks at you like you're a whore. You're somebody that he carries along through every relationship, for a quick effing if things don't go right within his relationship. Because although I do like Sonny, I don't think that Moses is a good man, and I do think he's dumb. Like, I don't care what nobody say, he does not seem like the most articulate person ever. And with that being said, Dusty Dan really plays herself to be a thirsty male identified fool. She has all of this vitriol about the situation, and it's like, girl, you are literally a hump monkey. Like, he literally bends you over whenever he in between relationships, and that's why you've been around for 15 years, ho. He was literally married already. Sonny is his second marriage. And am I missing something? He was in jail or something like that, or like, he's been dealing with plenty of people within 15 years. That means you were the throughout the relationship hump. Like, you were the backup hump. Like, you're not the girl that he wants to get with. So let it the fuck go. Like, move the fuck around. If you're really a solid boss girl, you're gonna move on and find somebody better. But you can't find nobody better because don't nobody want your ass. You are so, I don't want to call her masculine because I really don't even like calling women masculine, but she is very aggressive. Like, I'm aggressive, but people don't think I'm aggressive. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, if they don't know me, they don't think I'm aggressive. Like, if they've never heard my content or anything like that, if they first meet me, they would think, oh, look at her.
Sweet lady.
Sweet lady. But people, I've shocked many people in my time. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Dusty Dan doesn't, she's just very like aggressive on the front. But let's go ahead and get into what he has to say about Mill's baby mama. But let me read some of y'all comments first because y'all had a lot of good things to say. And hey y'all, hey everybody that's just joining. But somebody says, Marsau, how many kids do you truly have? Stop talking on other people's marriages, right? I can't stand Martel, but I'm all for him exposing that cocky mofo. It says, "See, this what the Scots men do. They want to sound smart and so great businessmen, and not living those words." Right, I agree. The Scots are the ones with a dark soul, cloud, etc. How many? I don't know if I could say that on here, but de-related to them since season 5. Oh my gosh. A sassy.
That's gonna get us kicked off the platform. We feel you though, but
Man.
damn.
May they rest in peace. Yeah. Kiki has passed on. Why is this poor excuse of a man speaking about her? I think this was done before she passed away. Mel was dragged constantly when she got back with Martel, especially when she got pregnant. Exactly. I don't like Destiny, but she dodged a bullet, in my opinion. And I wish Sonny and Moses the best, though. I really do wish them the best. I truly do. But, because I like Sonny. I really do. Nobody wanted Mel to be with Martel. Right. Martel is mad because Marsau broke guy code, period. Right. Mel was getting, I do remember that when Mel got back with Martel, because let me tell you something. I never, ever, ever dogged Mel. But I remember when she got back with Martel and I was like, no. I was like, baby, you don't deserve it. I was always in the comment section saying, Mel, you're going to come to your senses. You don't deserve this. One day you're going to come to your senses. You don't deserve this. One day you're going to realize you don't deserve this. And it used to be some crazy ass women that used to be like, you need to pray for her and the healing of her marriage, or you need to pray for peace within their marriage, or you want the black family to downfall. And I'm like, yeah, she needs to leave him. Like, he a lying asshole. Like, I used to really be in the comments. Anyways, just like he tried to go for Marquez person because he doesn't know Marsau like Martel does. Martel had checked him about not doing ish while living in the house with his kids. That's why Marsau is not going to prosper in life. He's low down and dirty. Love is not a challenge, right? And patience is kind. It's patience. It's kind. It does not boast. Marsau don't know nothing about that, right? I agree. Right. To me, Marsau looks at love as a duty. Stay away from them, men that think love is acts of service now. Stay away. Stay away. But Tisha should have kept her mouth shut about Mill's marriage. I agree. Who talks to Marsau? Y'all better talk to their family members. Yeah, Moses needs to shut up. We're trying to go along with the mess, but he's dragging it. Moses is a goof. Like, I'm telling you, Sonny, I only like you. First of all, I don't like nobody, husband, men, none of that. I don't like men in general. Men are so aggravating to me, period. But Moses, girl, I listen, Sonny, let me tell you something. He not a good look, babe. If a man only say the right things when you around, and because you telling him how to, girl, you got I don't look, you already in it, so I'm not gonna talk about your marriage. I do wish you the best, baby, but that man, you need to reel your dog in. Something I like to say conveniently, or not conveniently, something I like to say often over here on this channel when y'all men is acting up. Reel y'all men in. Reel them in. Get them under control, girl. Get them under control. And one more thing that I want to say before we move on to Martel. When Marsau said that we are equals, like, he looks at us as equals. Let me fucking tell y'all something. I am never an equal to a man. In my opinion, women are above men. They can't even fucking recreate themselves. So the fact that he even has the gall to put himself as an equal to a woman is absolutely baffling to me. And I think that's the issue within our community and within the world in general. We're living in a patriarchal society, and that's the problem. Like, the world is in shambles. Y'all and men and everybody, like, if we can acknowledge that a man cannot be higher than in or equal to the people that give life to them, we will be better in life. Yes, they can be stronger than us, because that's the truth, right? We're not going to be delusional. Men are absolutely stronger than women physically. I agree. Okay. But realistically, like, that's just how I feel. Okay. So even when he said that, I was kind of offended. Like, that's what I'm saying. Y'all need to, I was offended. Like, Letitia, why do you got this man thinking he's your equal? And you birthed three of his children.
But that leans back to the fact that he doesn't view women as divine.
That's why he's sitting up here calling them females.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly it. Because if he understood the divinity of women, he wouldn't. Objectively, there's nothing that you could say to somebody that can literally clone themselves at the drop of a hat,
right?
That would equal them. Like, it just doesn't. It's not feasible.
Like, a man would say, like, I believe men should, like, value women and understand, like, women are not their equal. They're above them. They literally are life givers. Everybody here in this world is here because of a woman. Nothing else put any of us here but a woman. So I think that needs to be understood. But I think that men that are not masculine, they look at that as being like, they are intimidated by that, because they you said
threatened. You really feel threatened?
They're threatened by that or intimidated by that, because that's not saying, oh, we can walk all over you or this, that, and the third. But that's saying, like, there needs to be a certain level of value placed on the people that are birthing communities. We're not equals, and we're not equals, and you're not above women. That's just how I feel in general. But that still means there's a certain level of respect given to men, but real men. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, not the imitation.
Right, not men that are, cosplaying. But why I can't respect Marcel, because he knows better and had been holding Martel accountable, but he decided to go with Martel to take a woman down to keep his secrets early on. I agree. That's why I can't respect him. I agree. He does dirt laughing joke, but if he done to him, it's a problem. He's so disrespectful, right? And I agree. I like Sonny apart from Moses. Yes, me too. Why do these people go in these interviews and talk about everyone else and not them? Isn't that what the interviews are for, to talk about their lives? Exactly. And I will say, he doesn't speak about himself at all in this interview, so that I know of. For the most part, this interview is 35 minutes long, and it's speaking about mainly Martel. But let me go ahead and finish. And he cheated on his first wife.
Conversation, and we saw that you and your brother Maurice had went to kind of have a intervention style conversation with Martel in the investment property that he built. Martel has done a lot of things in his tenure on the show that are conversation worthy, but I think this was one of the first times that we just saw a straight up, like, yo, we got to go talk to Martel what's going on. What was it about this most recent situation regarding his arrest that kind of made you and your brother say, look, we got to go check in on him and just like help him to see, you know, what this looks like from our POV?
Well, you know what? And that honestly goes back to Martell talking about kind of me and female tendencies, because this is exactly how Martell's fighting. And Martell is fighting a female with recordings and tell-alls and accusations and trying to take her kids and revenge porn and things like that. And to me is that no matter how I see, this is my unbiased opinion, that, you know, Mel and I haven't had the best relationship in the past, but right is right and wrong is wrong. And there's to me, there's nothing. Well, I imagine there's something, but the lowest of the lows is taking your then wife in the most intimate moment that you can have, the most vulnerable and sharing moment that you could have, and her trusting and giving you that, you know, that tape or whatever. And then you kind of weaponize that, and like, you know, I can't think of something lower at that point right there. And you're never going to win. And even someone that thinks like that at that point right there, like, I lost respect. I lost respect at that point. And so now my thing is like, there's some things that people do that you can understand and you can cope with, but there's a level that people decide that they want to go to that I can't get down with that. I can't get down with that, because anybody that would do that in that moment, that means that anything I've ever had that I could ever use against you, I'll use in your most vulnerable state if you push me to that. And I got some people, me and my brother got in fights all the time. We don't hit in the face. You got to have a line. You got to have a line. And the line is nothing to do with them. The line is about who you are as a man. You know what I'm saying? And so my thing was with him, I think that I tried to tell him, and I've tried to tell him over and over and over before, when I wanted him to understand and get it. But at this point right now, life will teach you. Life will teach you. Life will teach you. Life will teach you that there actually is a place in society for people who want to send pornographic pictures of their ex-wives out. There's a place for those people. There's a place that you can actually sit down and think about those decisions.
What's that place?
there's time for you to think about that stuff. There's a reflection place, right? There's a reflection place, and when you go to those places, it's a little think tank. It's a place that maybe I didn't get through to you. Maybe you need your thoughts in this little comfortable concrete place, and that kind of stuff figures it out, because you can't do that.
I think that you spoke to a really important piece when you said that at the end of the day, you know, right is right and wrong is wrong. So being principled kind of usurps a personal bias or a personal, you know, disagreement that you may have had with someone else. And I think that speaks volumes to a person's character.
That's it.
And in the case where people do kind of throw a lot of rocks at you and your wife's marriage and your personal character, I think scenes like that, where you are, you know, standing on the right side of a situation, or, you know, being principled, I think that kind of adds that levity and that balance to some of that talk and shows your true character. Do you think there's an opportunity or anything that Martell could do at this point, right? Obviously, he can't undo some of the things that he's done, but is there a way for him to pivot and maybe make different choices that could show him in a different light at this point? What do you think?
Martell has to be consistent. The only thing that humans, the only thing that's worth respect in this world is consistency. That's the only thing. Even
I just want to say that he understands the concept of humans, by the way, y'all, because I'm telling y'all, when men refer to women as females, there is an undertone behind that. Whether they understand that, subconsciously, it speaks to their understanding of women who are human and how they plateau them in in their world, or have they placed them in their world? I'm just saying, because he understands the concept of being a human.
But it seems like he caps off the, or he under, it's not like he underestimates, but he caps off the intellect of a woman at a certain point, you know,
Right.
like when emotions get involved, he has to even the playing field because he thinks that he's above a woman, when realistically a woman can control her emotions and her spirituality way easier than a man could,
Right.
and has a better understanding of it.
Right. So I already gave y'all my thoughts and opinions of how he feels when it comes to this. I'm gonna keep playing it, but we're gonna let Tech Guy give his
If you
thoughts.
do it and you hit an amazing shot, they're gonna say it's luck. After you hit him 5 in a row, they say put somebody on that man. He can hit it from there. Ask Steph Curry. So at the end of the day, you have to be consistent in your approach. Martell has to change the identity of who he wants to be as a man, and his standard that he doesn't go down. When they go low, I go lower. Okay. Guess what? That's what that when they go lower, when they go low and you go lower, that all that means is you're a follower.
Yeah.
Without standards. That's not a brag. Yeah. That's not a brag. For me to get on some people's level, I gotta bend my back, and I don't want to do that. Yeah. You gotta have some standards. Say, nigga, I'm not getting down there with you like that. You can get down there after you finish wallowing in the mud, get back up. I'm not gonna be on that level. When they go around and say all this kind of stuff about, you think that, hey, here's the funniest stuff. We actually know with receipts and facts, know so much stuff about everybody else. What you never will hear is me going out there and outing someone that's going out there and doing a tell-all and snitching and gossiping and whatever like that. You know why? That's not my character. Yeah. It's about the character for me. I'd rather defend myself than accuse someone else. Yeah. Because I'm not concerned with them. And so I think that with Martell, I think the challenge that he has is that he's going to lose the thing that and what I was trying to get him to understand, and he's not going to understand. This is a guy that's not going to understand until it actually happens. When he throws that glass against the wall and then he tries to put it back together, the bottom line is he's going to lose the respect of his children talking about their mama. Yeah, yeah, and that's what we call irreparable damage. Man, you're right. I think it's interesting that you've been able to maintain.
I don't think that I agree with a lot of the people in the comments that are saying that Dustin's not asking the pertinent questions because he's kind of just dancing around it. Like I think somebody said that he's been giving Marsau all these like weak accolades, but really they haven't gotten to the meat and the potatoes of the conversation. It's like you're not going to address how Martel called you out. You're not going to address how or anything about your life personally. You just seem to be like critiquing everybody else peripherally that's around you.
Well, I think that
but he did hold Martel accountable for the revenge P thing, I guess. But
I think that Dustin Ross used to be, well, I think he's a great interviewer. I do think that I think he did have a conversation with Carlos King, and Carlos probably told him to cut back or something of the sort. Or maybe Dustin, felt like the fans were trying to ruin the cast as well or some shit like that. And so that's why he now interviews in this way. But what are your thoughts, overall about how Marsau tried to hold Martel accountable? Because Tech Guy don't really know what's been going on, but I'm gonna also show you the clip. I think I showed it to you last night of how Martel
was like,
felt.
Snitching.
This was the interview that he had a problem with.
Oh,
so he had a problem with this interview, which is why.
So that's why he was having a little hissy fit,
right,
under the pavilion,
right. And my point, and what I always say is, if black men can't hold each other accountable, then who will hold them accountable? Especially with men like Marsau, who thinks women are beneath him, even though he wouldn't be on this planet if it wasn't for a woman. Or even though he wouldn't be able to spread his legacy or continue his legacy if it wasn't for a woman birthing, you know what I'm saying, his last name.
Literally. I think that it's deplorable of Martel and Marsau, but it's also typical of our community. You get to telling a brother about himself, now he's shouting, screaming, spit in your face, look like it's going to be a physical confrontation, when all it should have ever been was, damn, my bad, for real, reflection, adjustments, and versus you trying to instigate a whole problem. That's the issue with our whole community.
And that's why I say black men are scared of each other, because when watching this interview, I mean, granted, I don't like Marcel, but it don't seem like he said anything bad. He said
didn't.
that he lost respect for Martel. Once you start doing things like trying to release revenge pee in an intimate moment that you shared with your ex-wife, right? So I don't understand like what his big issue is, other than he's not used to being held accountable. And men that can't be held accountable by women or other men like him
gotta be phased out.
Are literally scary,
they gotta
like,
be phased
and dangerous.
Out, straight up, because it's like, look, like now he got all this animosity, all this, like, when dude really didn't say anything about him that was defamatory in any way.
We love the unproblematic boy moms.
But Marsau hasn't said anything defamatory towards him. He literally said, it sounds like you tried to tell him not to do it, or if he did it, why would you do some stupid shit like that? Like, you're a man. Right. You're not leading by trying to go lower. You're allowing her to set the tone and set the pace to how your interaction is, and then you follow suit, versus being in a situation and being able to set the precedence and set the tone to how it's supposed to be operated. And that's probably the most valid thing that Marsau has said this entire conversation. But once again, I haven't heard anything that warranted Martel's reaction in the video you showed me.
Right. Nothing warranted that.
Nah.
He's insane.
He didn't call him out his name. He didn't say, he didn't talk down on him. He didn't expose his business.
He just spoke the truth. And if the truth is negative, then you need to look within yourself and your actions.
You need to do some soul searching for real, to be getting all that, to get your blood pressure that high because somebody spoke the truth on you. You got veins coming out your forehead, spitting on
kind of like your own identity on the show, even when like your wife Letitia has had conflicts with certain other cast members on the show. You've been able to maintain your own identity and like these relationships on your own within respect, right? And so we see these sit down scenes, these one-on-ones that you and Melody have during the season. We saw one is coming up where you guys literally talk through whatever is going on, and it's sprinkled with humor and you know, a little bit of back and forth, but in a light way that is definitely palatable for the audience. How are you all able to do that? And how does that impact your relationships with the other cast members, per se, in the case of Stormy, right? We know that Stormy and Letitia are not having the best time, you know, seeing eye to eye right now. But what's your relationship like with Courtney? Like, how have you all been able to kind of find your rhythm as a cast, considering the relationship?
Here's the thing, is that
come on, let's do this. Love after lockup is back. Feels like a dream.
The Storm is.
And then I'm gonna just say this, because I don't like when people get it. Like, if you're gonna be over here on my platform, you're gonna have to be smart. You're gonna have to be an educated person, and you're gonna have to use your context clues. And you're, like I said, you're gonna have to be able to comprehend when we're having conversations about this. I'm clearly I'm clearly speaking in general, and it's not all with anything. No, it's not all with anything, and I'm not gonna ever fucking clarify that. So, and that's no disrespect, but I hate when I'm having a conversation that requires you to be able to comprehend and be educated enough to understand the nuances. I cannot break down every single thing. I'm not gonna fucking say not all black men and call to and hold y'all fucking hands. You got to be fucking smart enough to know not all black men, and hopefully you do not all black men. Like, not all black men. Look at what I'm fucking married to. The fuck? I get so tired of people wanting me to clarify that. Like, I'm not gonna clarify that. Like, you got to fucking know not all black men.
Look, we all adults here. We have an adult conversation. We grown. If all black men were acting and carrying on in the way that Martel and Marsau was, we would really have a fucking problem. So we got to put on our big girl pants, our big girl shoes, big boy pants, big boy shoes, and understand and use some discernment and be able to break down what it is we're saying. You know, somebody like this, you know, or been associated or been around somebody that acts like Martel.
Right. So, and if it breaks your heart even more, I'm gonna say most black men. How about that? Most of them. How about that? Because
if it wasn't most, we wouldn't
be here. And my sisters And I'm not saying my blood sisters, I'm saying like women in general wouldn't have the options out here or have to deal with a lot of this nonsense if it was more good than bad. But it's more bad than good. So I'm talking about most of you motherfuckers. And I ain't never seen you over here. And I don't like your picture, actually. I don't like your picture, wild card. So I don't know. Maybe you one of them offended black males. But anyways, somebody said, I don't think Dustin asked the hard questions, but I feel Marsau is holding Martel accountable. Believe that now they know that it was Martel on the revenge P, and it has them stupid too. Right, I agree. And then somebody said it's just those two. No, it's not. My husband already explained that. And then somebody said he would not be on this show if it were not for a woman. Exactly. And thank you so much for the super sticker. I really appreciate you.
It's a whole lot of money in this motherfucker. Damn.
Okay. Let's keep going. Somebody said, don't get me wrong, Marsau made great points. I'm saying why now? He knows how long Martel can go, but never held him accountable from the beginning. And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I said in my other video. I don't understand why now, considering...
Wasn't he just saying free Martel?
Exactly. When he first got arrested, he was saying free Martel. So again, I don't even know why he would be playing around with stuff like that, but y'all have points. Y'all have solid points.
He a troll, bro.
Yeah, that's okay. We're gonna walk their ass down. Marsau was looking at that damn tape. Just like I enjoy him checking Martel in the previews for the next episode, but he should have been done it. Exactly. And I don't really think he's gonna check him, y'all. Marsau is scared of Martel. All of these men are scared of him. Like, Martel is very crazy and confrontational. I need y'all to understand, like, I don't care what nobody say. Black men are scared of each other. That's why they don't check each other. If y'all pay attention, like if y'all say, well, why won't y'all, why won't you say something to him, or why won't you do this, or why won't you do that? A lot of them will say, what do they be saying, babe?
Ain't none of my business.
Yeah, they be like, that's a grown man. That's not none of my, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Or like, if my husband would be like, hey, bro, don't talk to her like that, dog.
That shit, dog.
Yeah.
Why you talking to them like that?
Right. Like, why you doing that? They be, mind your man, this my bitch. Or some craziness.
You gonna meet my papa.
Right. Like some craziness.
And it's like nobody's afraid of you, but it's like y'all are
unhinged.
Y'all are unhinged. Like I want to see the crack of dawn tomorrow. I ain't trying to be seeing no goddamn ER because you can't face your truth and face your reality. And I just so happen to bring that to your attention while you having these bitch ass ways. Like
they scared of each other. We scared of them. Shit. And then I seen this thing on TikTok with this boy, and he had posted I forgot what he posted, but he said, I seen a whole bunch of young ends walking through the neighborhood, and he was like, I ran in the house and locked my door so fast. And people were in the comment section laughing, and they was like, yeah, them young nins crazy, man. Yeah, man, you gotta watch out for them young nins. And I'm looking like, I'm like, yeah, this is funny, but why is this normalized? Like, y'all even scared of the young boys. Like, it's gotten so bad. They're scared of the ones, they're like the youth. They're scared of them boys. That's why they're running amok. Like, they're actually scared of them, y'all, in real life. I'm just saying. And that's why y'all need to stop calling them and whooping their ass. Y'all need to whoop their ass.
And when they get fish fillet, y'all need to stop saying he was a good kid, because y'all know he wasn't a good kid.
He wasn't a good kid. Like, it was some, y'all know my husband had to deal with one of these psychopathic young men's, and we never still spoke about it to this day. But eventually we will. But I'm like, get the motherfuckers under control, right? We don't want nobody crying on the internet. Get them under control, because we trying to. We trying to help y'all. We ain't got no churn, but we trying. Right. Real men will check them and put them in their place. That's the truth. Real men would do that. And they have to do it often. But yeah, they check each other from a distance. Girl, I don't see them checking each other. They don't check each other. If men checked each other, they would, these rappers wouldn't be able to say what they can say in these songs or do with the stuff that they can do. Like, I don't think so. They ain't doing it. It ain't not enough of them checking each other. That's the thing. There are majority of an issue that are really decent, and it's a hard fight. That's all I'm saying. That's how I feel about Black women and the male identified Black women in our community. It's more women that overvalue men than themselves, which is why we continuously have this issue.
It's like an uphill battle.
Right. It's like, it's so, it's ridiculous.
Between the male identified women and the men who lack the ability to be critiqued without escalating issues to violence or to ruining families. Like that's why there's so much DV in the community, because a lot of the times it'd be the woman checking them out. Like I remember we saw a video where this dude had showed up, the cops had showed up, and he was drunk, and he had been drunk the past couple nights, and the girlfriend got fed up with it, but he's sitting there arguing with the cop about how he's an occupant on the property, but you're literally bringing negative attention to these people's community at 2 a.m, bro.
Right.
Like, and now
the only reason he was mad was because his girlfriend said that he can't come to the house drunk.
Not that he can't come to the house.
She said, you can come here, but you can't be here drunk.
In front of these damn kids.
In front of the kids. They had 3 kids. He was drunk and belligerent.
And he felt
he felt so entitled to be in her space with her children drunk. And then he felt so entitled to be staying there, even though he couldn't even, as the man, have his name on the lease. Her daddy had his name on the lease. So that was another thing. And then he was like being violent. The girl was trying to be patient with him and everything.
The cops was being patient with him.
All because he couldn't be drunk in front of her kids.
Simple. And they wasn't even pulling up trying to how they did with that woman with the boiling hot pot of water. Like they approached him with a lot of patience, with a lot of discernment.
They were very nice, kind to him.
They was like, bro, we're gonna give you 3 options. Typically, they only give you 1 option.
He was being very kind to him. He spoke to him for like 30 minutes before they was like, all right, you might gotta go.
You gotta roll, bro. You doing too much.
Right. And that was when he said he gotta leave. They still didn't even put him in handcuffs first. Yep. People don't take, like, the police don't be taking DV serious enough for me, and I don't like that. But let's keep.
I mean, Courtney's an even kill guy, right? Now, granted, I told him, and it didn't show, but he knows he was wrong. He knows he was wrong. He knows good and well that there's no way in the world I would have sat there and Tisha was talking to him, calling him out his name, something like that. I wouldn't. I would step in. Hey, babe, that ain't it. That ain't it. Because the truth is, and I know where he's from. That's not permissible. That's not permissible outside of cameras. That's not permissible outside of cameras and a protected environment. No, that's not. That's only permissible with people that you know that aren't going to attack back. That's not behavior in the streets, right? Because if that happens out at the grocery store, if that happens at outside the club or whatever that situation may be, then all of a sudden Courtney's riding around looking for someone at the end of that night.
Absolutely.
And it's completely unnecessary. There's nothing to gain. And so that's a moment where someone's stooping low. I'm not about to stoop lower. But if you can outthink a man, you can outlive a man.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get my lick back. I'm gonna get my lick back. Yeah. So but no, me and Courtney cool. Courtney's cool. And I think that as long as there's a mutual respect, I think that but there's a difference between certain seasoned castmates, for me, Stormy has to stand. She has to stand on, I think he's a bitch. She has to stand on that now, because otherwise, an apology, a genuine apology, means that she's not being consistent. And
just to kind of bring things back to the top of this conversation, My wife stated that, well, we brought the point up that there's an issue with men that view women as females and refer and allude to women as females because they somehow, some way in their head see women as their equal. Look at the way he's handling this situation with Courtney. I ain't got no issue with Courtney. Courtney, cool. Woo, woo, woo. All right, cool. But you talking about I got to get my lick back with a woman. She called you out your name. Okay, cool. Not you don't agree with it. But for you to think that as a leader, your next move is to retaliate. If you was truly a lion, lions don't lose sleep over the opinions of sheep.
Mm-hmm.
So for you to be so triggered by this woman, it's like a hit dog hollering.
Like, I'm gonna tell y'all, there is a man, okay? There's a man that cannot stand my husband. Like, he hate my husband. And one of the things that he yelled to the other men was, he was like, oh, I can't stand that N word. He do everything that girl tell him to do. Like
I'm supposed to follow you niggas' orders. Y'all, you lost.
Baby, don't say the N word.
You lost, motherfucker.
Like, he was so like that, like they can't. Those were one of the things like he said about my husband as like it was supposed to be a slur. Like
he's so trivialized by the fact that I have to do stuff for my wife.
Like, he was so upset, y'all. It's weird.
Like, screamed it at the top of his lungs.
Yes, he
veins
was
popping out his head.
Like, so upset. He was so mad because basically, but okay, because and I'm only saying this because this is seemingly a similar situation, right? Because basically men be expecting my husband to check me for checking their ass. And this particular person had did something or another.
Just so foul.
Right. And I checked his ass. Like, what's up with you, dude?
Acting like a band.
Buddy. and so I don't know, but he ended up taking the conversation like weeks later over to other men. And the men went back to my husband.
Came back to me.
They went back to my husband laughing about it. They was like, "Look, he hates you. He can't stand you." And then my husband was laughing. He was like, "What I ever do to him?" And so all the men laughing, and they was like, Buddy said he can't stand you because you do everything that your wife say.
What the fuck do that got to do with you, bro?
And it's so funny because when you look at his dynamic with his wife,
tumultuous, in shambles, disarray, non-existent. He ain't got a wife no more. I got my wife. He don't got his wife. Like,
it's just funny. It's just so funny. Like, he was so mad, y'all. Like, he was
sick.
He was so
sick. I'm talking about, bro, sick. Like
oh my gosh, like, and this what the comments. Okay, so this is why it's funny, because as he talking shit about my husband, he venting to the other men about how his wife is cheating on him and finna leave him.
He talking about he done went back to church, and delivered, and it just ain't working.
It's not funny, but it's funny because he's sitting here, he's talking about a man that knows how to keep his wife, that loves his wife, that values his wife. Whole time, like your wife is leaving you, bitch. But anyways, I just thought that was so funny because he was so mad, and you gotta ask yourself, why does that bother other men so bad that other women are loved and happy in their marriages? And I think it's because, like, it's a reflection of them as men in their marriages. But yeah, y'all, I thought that was so funny. He was so mad.
She has to maintain the persona that, I this is me, this is what I do, this is just who I am, and I just tell like it is, right? But at the end of the day, there's a level of respect. There's a level of respect, and there's a level of I wouldn't say adoration, but there's definitely a level of respect that Stormy has when she talks to me. Yeah. And I know that, and that's how we're able to maintain a regular conversation when we're not fueled by cameras. But there's a certain level that says, I know who you are, Marsau. I respect you as a businessman. I respect you who you are, and you know,
Yeah.
I'm just doing shit. And with that being said, I take it like that.
Do you think that that's reflected in your relationship on camera with Melody? And when you all have like those one-on-one sit downs where you can kind of talk your way through maybe something that's happened, do you think that that level of respect is the thread that keeps you all able to have reasonable communication like that?
Yeah. Because let me just say, Melody, Stormy, all the ladies on the show, Melody, Stormy, Tisha, Kimmy, every person they're intelligent.
Yeah,
and they can
for
hold a
sure.
conversation and they can argue.
You want to know what's so funny about this comment, Sassy KK? When it, you want to know what's so funny? This one particular person is always creating so much. Like, we're not friends with this person or anything. Unfortunately, this person is a family member.
Oh yeah. This isn't.
We're not friends with him.
We didn't want
we
to have to interact with
we
this
don't
person.
want to interact with
were
him.
kind of forced.
We just kind of forced to interact with him in some events or some occasions, and it's crazy because I've always said like what's up with you, like
what's
like
your deal? What do we do to you?
Yeah, like I always said that, and I was like, do you want me,
my wife or some shit, bro?
Like, do you want my man? Like, do you want to jack him up? Like, what is wrong?
What's your obsession with me,
He
bro?
really has this crazy obsession with anything that we do. And like, we would try. Okay, I remember one time it was this argument going on. And me and my husband in the middle, we get everybody to come to an agreement, right? This fucking ping pong head ass bitch came out of nowhere and sparked the beef up again by saying, oh, well, but that person really didn't get, but that person really, what he said?
He said, y'all don't think y'all hearing this person out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think
he
y'all
came back and was like, I don't think y'all really heard this person out. Even though everybody simmered down and came to an agreement. And then that person who's easily manipulated jumped up and was like, yeah, I didn't get to tell my side of the story.
And the argument re-ensued.
And then it started all over. I was like, oh, hell no. Nah. Like that day, I was like, oh, he is on one. But anyways, my bad, y'all. I just had to tell that.
And the difference is in our conversations, I call you to a level of logic.
Mm-hmm.
I call you to a level of sarcasm. I call you to a level of wits that, quite frankly, you're going to have to play my game. Only person that doesn't play my game is Wanda. Because she's going to get her stuff in. But I'm just going to make you, I'm going to make you fight me on this level. I'm going to make you fight me with wits. You're going to come to my territory. You're not going to just go, you're not going to get the reaction that you want out of me. You're not going to get me riled up. You're not going to get me upset. You're gonna have to sit down here and battle me with wits. And if you win, you win.
Yeah.
It's time to feed the dogs real food, not highly processed pellets. The farmer's dog is.
Do you think, just one Melody and Martell question, right? Martell has often mentioned like that, he was pushed to make the decision to make the threat allegedly that he sent via text message to Melody. And he keeps saying that, when somebody's poking you, but we haven't yet gotten a clear, defined occurrence from him, right? We haven't gotten, well, Melody did this or said this or did this, and this influenced my choices. What can you tell us that you've seen that may have influenced some of his choices, as bad as they were, obviously? Have we missed something, or is what are we missing here, Marsau?
I will say this, okay?
Yeah.
I will say that if someone can poke you and make you do what they want you to do, then they're stronger than you are. So all you're confessing to is being a weak-minded person. Okay, that's number one. So you can't allow someone.
It's a whole lot of money in this motherfucker. Damn.
They want you to do, then they're stronger than you are. So all you're confessing to is being a weak-minded person. Okay, that's number one. So you can't allow someone poking you to cause you to act, because at that point right now, you're being controlled. and they have the stronger mind in that situation. So number one, once you give up responsibility for your actions, then you're out of control.
Yeah.
So you cannot blame your actions on other people. That's number one. But the second part of it is, I mean, yes, we know that. We know for a fact that, you know, we know for a fact that Mel has activated her flock, her following, her deplorables, to act. She's done that. I've said it 1,000 times, and this is the case. Mel and Martel struck one little match and they threw it into a forest of trees. That match turned into a blazing fire. They walked away and haven't thrown a match in a while, but their hands are not clean from not throwing the match. They threw the match. And so now the malometers, they're just, you know, they just got their agency of deplorability, and they're just trying to attack everybody and anybody, you know.
No, you should have said that his head creased like some Air Force One.
Some old Air Force One. The old black one.
The old black ones that have played through every basketball game. He do got hella creases. Stressing out about his wife.
Really?
They're not happy with themselves. But at the end of the day, they started it. But Martel, to a certain extent, he's acting like he doesn't care what people think. He cares everything about what people think. He doesn't watch the show, but he catches the highlights. He knows everything that's going on in the show. So those things are not true. The truth is that he cares too much about what other people think, and he's trying to control that narrative by getting his story out. He's not doing this to get his kids, because you wouldn't do this to get your kids.
Yeah. It takes you away from them, actually, as we've seen with
takes you away from society.
Yeah, as a whole.
For 23 hours a day.
Yeah, and clearly there has to be some sort of different approach made there when it comes to something, because the what we've seen are attacks, right? We haven't seen any sort of bridge being built or any sort of attempt even to have harmony. We've seen the attacks and we've seen the result of those attacks. And so it just makes it kind of difficult when it comes to understanding his POV and his decision making in those cases. So what is it that you can say, though, after spending, you know?
It's crazy that he can sit here. I like that with the previous comment that you had clicked on, but somebody in the comment section that stated that it's crazy that he can sit here and try to say that that you're supposed to control yourself, and when people poke at you, you're not supposed to use that as an excuse to act out or go lower. But he was just like 20 minutes ago in the conversation saying that he was finna get his lick back with Stormy, but that he respects Marsau, that he respects Courtney. It's like, you never want to address no problems with, you don't ever want to address no issues with no men, but the opportunity that a woman gets to call you out your name or do some shit, instead of you being the bear in that situation and having some sort of poise and what's it called? Oh man, it starts with the letter C. Composure in that situation. You take any opportunity you can to try to get back at this woman, and that's just cowardly. But you ain't got no words from Martel. You ain't had no words for the past 5 years that he's been running amok, and now that everything has come to
I don't think you know, Martel. I don't know if you know, but Martel tried to fight Marsau before, and he called the police on him.
Wait, Marsau called the police on Martel?
Yeah.
Oh.
He tried to put a restraining order out on him or something. Y'all remember that?
That's crazy. He really afraid of that man.
You know, 6 seasons on the show and having a relationship with what the fans have to say. What do you have to offer, right, to the viewers to kind of maybe shift their focus, and maybe even some of the Melodies fans who have not been maybe the most welcoming, right, to other stories on the show? What do you have to say to them to kind of encourage them maybe to look at things differently, or is there anything you can offer the audience as we go through this season?
Well, I don't think you can encourage the millimeters, because I don't think that they have the intelligence that.
See, here this bitch go. Here this bitch go.
Disrespecting any women, bro.
Here this bitch go. And he gonna say, I don't necessarily think they have the intelligence. I'm gonna tell you right now, I think it's funny that they say these type of things because I genuinely know for a fact that I can run laps around Marsau and Maurice and Martel easily in 3.5 seconds. These type of nigglets are literally intimidated by me. I've ran into them on a plethora of occasions. While they can't stand me, they get on their knees and they fucking respect me. And which is what we're gonna do to Maurice as well. But I think it's so interesting because again, while he say we are not intelligent, he also had literally proved that everything that we called them out about was absolutely the truth. Right now, all the content that I've ever produced for y'all is literally being validated by every last one of these people in every single episode and on every single interview. And although he sits here and say we are not intelligent enough, it's so funny because he isn't even, or they aren't even intelligent enough to know, like, they are literally sinking themselves. They're a sinking ship, and they have literally played right into what I described them to be to a T. And I am so amused by it. Nothing makes me happier than knowing my intuition yet again
led you in the right direction.
led me in the right direction, because nothing guides me but my intuition, y'all. And a lot of times when I read people, I try to go against my intuition, but I'm always proven that my intuition was right. And I just remember trying to give Carlos even the benefit of the doubt, but let's keep going.
I can't speak to them in a language that they can understand. Right. Okay. And so whether they're too smart or I'm too stupid, I'm not smart enough to communicate well with them. Okay. Because I think that there's a comprehension gap between reality and what's seen on a television show on Saturday night. I had someone, I'm building a house around the corner, and I had someone make a comment that said,
wow, I just built the most amazing workflow on Monday.com.
You build your own workflow? Why?
You can tell he's lying because we didn't see it on the show. Yeah. And that made me understand them better. It makes me understand their logic. So,
and hold on, let me just play this back.
And that made me, he's lying because we didn't see it on the show.
And I think this is the problem that I have an issue with. We believe that y'all are lying because it's not because it didn't play out on the show. But even if somebody does say that to you, what makes them a millimeter? Because at this point, I'm starting to believe y'all think that the whole fan base are millimeters. Like, everybody that watch Love and Marriage Huntsville are not millimeters. Everybody that questions you or challenges you is not a millimeter. Okay. And that's something that that's something that y'all have to understand. I've cussed millimeters out. People that claim to be millimeters and got in my comment section and said, "Oh, how could you be a millimeter if you got Letitia in the beginning of your intro video?" That person claimed to be a millimeter, but in my opinion, clear as day, they're fucking crazy as hell and can't be a real millimeter, and clearly trolling and trying to create chaos, because in my opinion, no smart intellectual person would fucking comment that. So that person clearly isn't a critical thinker. I'm sorry, y'all. That person clearly isn't a critical thinker, and clearly I wouldn't associate them with being a millimeter. And I think that's also the difference amongst the millimeters and the mellow fakers or whatever the fuck. Like, there are people who I genuinely believe troll and act as if that they are a part of a community, and they're not. I also believe there are people that are genuinely a part of this community, and they know what it is and what it ain't. Like, and that's just my opinion. So there are people that are not even millimeters. They just really like melody, and they will troll the shit out of you. Do you understand that? Do you understand that there are people that really like Melody who will troll the shit out of you? They don't have not one millimeter shirt. But you sitting up here and you're supporting somebody like Martell, and so they just don't like you. So now they're going to troll you. That doesn't make them a millimeter. So as you sit up here, no, we don't think that you are intelligent enough to have the conversation, because you act as if you are above the fan base, the people that have invested the time and the energy into Mel Show, and you act like, this is what I mean. Like, he acts like he's this brilliant man, and he's really just a scum. And another thing, like, there's a difference between men from the South and men from the North.
Right.
Marsau is a clear representation of a man from the North. You understand me? And as we talk about dating, because we're still doing our dating show, I just really wanted to be cute and nice and clear in the whole podcast. But as we're talking about dating, I'm gonna let y'all know, if you want something serious, I wouldn't start in the North. I'm just being real with you. Men from the North are not raised the way men from the South are raised. And a lot of times what I do know is most, not all, of the problems do stem from the men of the North. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I seen it with my own eyes. I'm not saying that men from the South are not problematic, because all men are problematic. All men are problematic. But I'm talking about the problems that we have in our community. In my opinion, majority starts with the North, the men from the North, and carry on from the men in the South. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I can prove it. I really can prove it. But I don't
real
want
life
to.
examples.
Like, I
got real life examples of this shit.
I really can prove it, but I don't want to go there. And I'm not, like, again, because I do agree. Like, y'all need to hear me. Y'all know I don't even like men. Okay, like, y'all know this. I think they're all bad.
we just be fucking it up, man.
I don't like any of you all.
We suck. Nah, we terrible.
And that's another thing. Like,
see, most dudes wouldn't be able to laugh about this shit. They'd be like, "What? How dare you say that men are terrible? We are great. We are amazing."
They take right, like, you're horrible. Like, you're a fucking beast,
bro.
You're a beast.
Did you see your college? Did you see your college highlight tape?
Like, what?
Did you see your high school highlight tape, bro?
Like, what are you talking about? You're great. Who told you that? Your mammy?
Your mama?
Let me meet your mammy. Not because when they start talking like that, you got to start calling their mammy mama. I mean, you got to start calling their mama mammy.
It's a differentiation.
Because you step into me like you was raised by a mammy, nigga.
Your mama didn't value herself.
Yeah, I don't know what you talking about, buddy. Because the real men I know, they value women.
Yeah.
The men I know, the men that I know that
of any ranking in society.
Respect, the men I respect, because people feel like I don't respect men, and I think that's so
a fallacy.
funny.
I don't think that's true. I just don't think that's a lot of respect when men roaming around out here.
Yeah, I know, and I
think people should look at it like that versus
exactly.
You don't respect men. What did this dude do to earn my respect?
Exactly. So you think I'm supposed to just respect
all GP?
Right. The fuck. First of all, if you got kids and I never see you with your kids, I don't respect you. Like, my husband knows that about me.
You already at a D-, bro.
I'm telling you.
You ain't even passing, bro.
If he tell me he got a friend and his friend got kids, I'll be like, okay.
Where they at?
Yeah.
Where the children at?
Where the kids at, buddy? Because he got friends that got kids, and them kids always around,
like up under them,
to the point to where it's annoying, but it's respected so heavily. Because if he goes somewhere the kids around, or if the kid's not welcome, he don't go.
Like, if I don't know you for being, like, if I don't know you and like my image of you in my head isn't you with your kids,
right?
It's a problem. Because
like,
what are you doing with your time?
Who are you?
Like,
right.
Those your offspring, dog.
Like, what are you doing?
Your future. Like, what you doing with me?
Right. Like that guy, the guy that y'all heard on the platform the other day, like he always, y'all probably heard them kids in the background, didn't y'all? Y'all heard them kids in the background? Yes, they was in the background. He had his kids over here.
On the way with them. Oh, by the way, we're gonna be picking up that the conversation from last week. He my boy Dirt will be with us this evening, so we will be coming back after this live is concluded.
Yeah, but yeah, he had his kids with him. Always got them damn kids with him.
Yep.
And I don't mind.
And he love it. He wouldn't want it any other way.
I don't mind. Even his brother. Okay, well,
his brother a whole nother beast.
Let me make some differences, okay? This is actually, I want to talk about this with him too.
Let's get y'all warmed
up. Because I think
this
is a great comparison, right? Because this is an example. He got, I don't know how many brothers, okay? We know them all. He the only one that's decent that I like.
Decent with his wife.
Like
kids.
Like I'm talking about he's decent all across the board.
For real.
Like
solid business.
And his brother is literally a Looney Tune. Like I tell him all the time, I don't hide from this. I let him know consistently how much of a
crash dummy,
how much of a issue he is in the community. Like y'all probably think, oh, she just be saying this on her platform. No,
we be standing on all.
I literally
every day.
I let his ass have it as much as I can. But what I will say, although I don't like the way he treat women, he always got his kids with him.
Yep.
That's one thing that I mean, I can respect that. Like he always have his kids with him. It don't matter what he's doing. I almost say his name, right? His kids are always with him. So although I don't like the way his brother treat other women, he always got his kids with him.
I respect him as a father, maybe not as a husband.
I don't respect him.
Like
no,
I'm saying
I don't respect him.
If there was one way you was gonna give him respect, it's behind his.
No, I'm not.
Oh.
No, I'm not gonna give him respect for that.
Okay.
For being a basic person.
That's bare minimum.
Like, duh, you have kids, you must take care of them, idiot. Yeah, that's how I feel. I don't care, y'all. I don't care. I'm not gonna respect you for doing what you're supposed to do. I'm gonna respect you for doing what you have to do. And what you have to do in this society is be a good, decent man across the board because we have so many odds stacked against us. But yeah, y'all, let me get on up out of here, okay? Because I want to go and hang out, all right? They don't like their kids, but hate for you to verbalize it. Yeah. But let me see. That's how we do in the North, the West Indies, everywhere. Maybe the South is the problem. Wait, hold on now. What you mean that's how we do in the North? Sassy, hold on, let me go to your other comment. Who is that? Who want to book that? They want to book our Airbnb?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, y'all. My bad. I'm talking my business. I don't like people I know to book my stuff. Tell them to go away. Book somebody else stuff. I'm not trying to be mean. We know them.
What's the problem?
I don't like them in my stuff. It's only for strangers. They can't book it, no. Because they get too comfortable because they know you. Like, oh, we're going to book the Airbnb. Like, no, like, I don't know. Hold on, baby. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it in a second. Oh, wait, hold on, Sassy. You need to tell me what you're talking about, Sassy KK. Let me see what your other comment was. But that narrow perspective, because men from the West Indies are like men from the North and the South, Middle Eastern men or Muslims have mentality as men. The South, women are second class. In the South, women are second class. Okay, here's what I think. Here's what I think I'm trying to say about the men in the North. Most men that I know, like, oh my gosh, like, I don't even know how to say this, but okay. Let me see what you mean. Hold on, Sassy, because I'm trying to see what you're talking about before I respond. Because I do believe that hold on, let me see. West Indies are like men from the North and South. Middle Eastern men or Muslim have the mentality as men from the South. women are second-class citizens. Hold on, let me go back to the other one. Explain more, please. What do you mean their cheating ways? I'm gonna okay, hold on. Let me go. I'm trying to go all the way up to your comments so I can try to put some context to what your question is. So, what I mean by men from the South are better than men from the North is the fact that men from the South are a lot more traditional than men from the North. And I guess it's about perspective as well. Men from the North oftentimes are okay with not being whole providers within their household. And to me, I take issue with that. So when I'm speaking about men, I look at it from every aspect. So when I compare hood men from the South and hood men from the North, I'm comparing the two. When I compare corporate men from the North and corporate men from the South, like I'm literally I'm comparing them in their categories. And it to me, most times men from the South, whether it be hood, corporate, political, or whatever, always have better qualities than the men from the South. Somebody said men from the North talk too much, child. The men in the North priorities are cars, dressing, and infidelity. Yes, like granted, men from the South have infidelity problems as well. I need y'all to understand. I think men across the board are problematic. Okay, this is my point, period. However, I think that there is more. I think most of it stems from the North. Like this is just how I feel. So although I'm seeing that the men from the North, they deal with infidelity, I'm not saying the men from the South don't deal with infidelity, but I also feel like while the two are both bad, while the men from the South and North have infidelity issues, the men from the South still are very much more traditional in every aspect and more provider like, in my opinion. I don't know. I do think that the men from the North, they are very like for show. They like, what is it? They're
flashy, man.
They're very
too flashy. They're
flashy.
too braggadocious. They cocky. They don't have any sort of humility to them. They think that
that's another thing. Humility.
They think that they can buy respect versus
yeah,
respect.
Yeah. Thank you, baby. Thank you, baby.
I respect the cowboys more than I respect the hustlers or the people who can farm their land.
Right. I respect cowboys more than hustlers.
Hustlers any day.
And for the most part, like men that don't grow up around trees scare me. They lack principle and humility.
They don't know what fresh air smells.
Like their brain is clouded with exhaust.
Car exhaust and flood their brain.
I'm just playing. Okay, but let me see. I think Sassy KK done hopped up out of here. She probably done got mad with me because I was talking about them people from the North. But I might catch up with you again, Sassy. But all right, y'all. Let me go ahead and get up out of here. I'll talk to y'all later.